On Triple J, just pulling down the track before it starts swearing. Because on the line, FKA Twigs, hello there.
Hello.
How are you doing? Hey, where are you at the moment? What can you see around you?
I'm on a balcony and I can see an East London estate and a train track. It feels very industrial.
Oh, well, it's not as nice as I could imagine, but that's fine. That's fine.
No, it's lovely. It's great. I love things like that.
Lovely. Well, I can see I've got your brand new LP in front of me, LP1, which is coming after EP1 and EP2. You talked about, trying to, I guess, wrestling with your music. And you saw you Facebooking the other day about the last 2 years being the most testing of your entire life. What was more testing about that than things that have gone before?
I think it's just the transition. You know, I'm 26 now, and I think that mid-20s, especially for maybe a girl, is very complicated because it's kind of like the only quote that I can think is a Britney Spears quote, which is, "I'm not a girl, not yet a woman."
Perfect.
Yeah, that sums it up. No, but on a serious note, I think it's just kind of that time when you suddenly realize, like I am a woman now, and it completely changes your boundaries in terms of relationships, in terms of your work. You know, so much stuff happened. Like, I got signed. I was the most, bizarre relationship. Like, I was discovering myself, and luckily in that 2 years I was at, I guess, a challenge of writing about it. So it kind of came at a good time. It was just painful, isn't it, growing up?
I guess so. And that is that one of the reasons why this is, pretty much wholly your work, your album, your vision for FKA Twigs.
Yeah, it is. For me, as an artist, it's so important for me to have creative control over every single thing that I do. And if that means that I've got to produce and learn how to use Ableton and become a better pianist and a better bass player, if that means that I have to do that and that I've only got a year to do it, well, that's what it means. If that means that I need to practice singing every single day, that's what it means. If that means that I need to, go on YouTube tutorials and learn about camera lenses for a week because I've got a video coming up and I'm directing it, well, that's what I've got to do.
You have to learn about camera lenses.
Well, I direct a lot of my own videos.
I guess that's a thing. That's a part of it.
Yeah, when I say, I direct my own video, I know hearing stories of other people that are like, yeah, I direct my own video, and it's like they've come up with an idea, and then on the day there's, a DOP running around doing everything for them. For me, I'm not down with that. For me personally, I want to learn about everything. I want to learn about, the cameras, I want to learn about the lighting, and I want to get all the technical terms correct, and I want to be involved in a team, and I want to be there going on a recce at 8 a.m. in the morning to try and find a location, and I do all of the treatments myself. I'll be there running out and buying water for all the dancers if no one else is there doing it at that second. Even across the whole record, every single melodic line I wrote myself, every single lyric I wrote myself, and it was just a challenge I set myself. At the end of it, I don't know, something came together that I've a stamp of where I am now as a person and as an artist. If that's the one thing I do, then I know I've done that.
Well, I think it works, and we'll talk about that more. You said you did, as you said, everything on the album, which means you're responsible for the sweet tempo change in the song that I'm going to be playing right now on Triple J. Watch out for it. This is Video Girl from FKA Twigs on Triple J, and FKA Twigs is on the phone right now. On Triple J, that was Video Girl, another sweet, sweet slowdown at the end of that song by FKA Twigs off LP1. FKA Twigs is on the line. Tell us about that slowdown. It's like the song's going and then you're just like, nope, we're going to stop for a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know, I was in the studio and I just thought it would be funny to have a chorus come in and have it completely slow down, because usually the chorus of a song, it speeds up and everything gets really hype and it's okay, the chorus is coming. And I remember being in the studio of Emil and I trying to explain to him how I meant, and he was looking at me like I was mad, and I was like, no, just pull the timer over this way, and he was just this is really weird. And then it took sort of 20 minutes, and then after everything came in, he was like, oh, I get it, that sounds sick. And I was like, that's amazing.
And speaking of those tempo changes, there's this bit in Numbers, 7th track on the album, this rad, slow, burning jam vibe, and then suddenly it's almost like you've sort of accidentally pressed double time on a Casio keyboard drum machine or something.
Yeah, I did Numbers with Sampha, and Numbers was one of those songs, like, it just kind of exploded together. It was really weird. Like, we just started jamming, and Sampha was playing the drums, and I was playing the bass parts and playing that stabbing synth, and it just happened so organically. And then it came up to the middle section, and I was like, let's just pull out all the drums on that bit where it's like, why you gotta go and hurt me, babe? That bit.
Yeah.
And it goes into this almost kind of like weird girl band moment.
Well, because then it goes massive for that "Was I Just a Number to You" bit at the end as well, with all the in the background. It's like another crescendo. Actually, there's like there are a fair few lyrics on this album, like "Was I Just a Number to You?" There's those lines in Pendulum about not being enough for the person that you're singing to, and even "When I Trust You, We Can Do It with the Lights On."
Yeah.
There's a lot of that raw emotional veins. Is it your emotions, or are they stories that you've created for the songs?
No. Everything is completely real. It's something that I've gone through. It's not always as it seems. Like, you know, people always misinterpret my lyrics, which is something actually that I quite enjoy. Like, when I trust you, we can do it with the lights on. For me, it's a metaphor about getting to know somebody and showing them the sides of your personality that are maybe more ugly than you would hope them to be. We're like, oh, everything's so physical. But to me, it was a metaphor. And, you know, things are not as cute when the lights are bright.
How do you decide where to make the crazy effects in songs like that just seem to sort of come out of nowhere and seem to be working atonally against the melodies and stuff?
I don't know. I mean, I always find it really difficult to like intellectualize in hindsight something that I did that felt right emotionally at 3 o'clock in the morning, like 6 months ago. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's really hard. It's just like a feeling. Everything I do, I guess, like sonically, were like pushing. It's hard to explain. Like, I wanted to push myself further.
Yeah.
As a producer, as a songwriter as well.
Yeah, and it shows on the album, absolutely, like with all the as you say, the different things you're playing, the keyboards, the drums, learning to play the piano better, learning to... You do actually play drums on this record as well, it says in the liner notes.
Yeah, I do. I play like my, not live drums, I play my drum machine, so it's like all electronic drums. You
were saying that you have trouble explaining it. You should probably show us. You should probably come to Australia and show us how you do all this. I read that you were into Fern Gully as a kid, which is... I
love Fern Gully, yeah.
It's set at the foot of Mount Warning, which is in Wollongong, in like northern New South Wales, right near the border of Queensland and New South Wales. You should come and check it out.
Yeah, that's weird. I've never thought about that, but of course it is. But yeah, Fern Gully is like the best film because it's just about... It's about like ethics, isn't it? And it's about honesty and like...
It's like innocence versus manipulative outside forces as well.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, in a weird way, like that's everything that I stand for, like as an artist, that's everything that I stand for. So I don't know, I just wanted to do something that was like an alternative, like it's an alternative that people can listen to if they want to. Or it's like an antidote for something else. I'm
talking to FKA Twigs on Triple J. Your brand new debut album, LP1, is the feature album on Triple J. What video are you going to plan to make next from the record?
Well, I directed a video for Pendulum a few weeks ago, and it's in post at the moment. After this interview, I'm going to go to the studio and like go through some post-production decisions.
Your videos have definitely shown these sides of yourself from Hide through Water Me and 2 Weeks. What are we going to see in Pendulum?
It's basically exploring the art of shibari, which is a form of Japanese bondage where you are suspended by your own body weight. But
I got a couple of friends that do that, actually. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. But I'm basically suspended by my own hair, so the rope is entwined with my own hair. The song is Pendulum, and it's saying it's really lonely trying to like exceed your expectations when I don't know what you expect me to be. Mm-hmm. But within the video, it's basically about me setting myself free from that. Because if someone says to you, you're not good enough, and then you believe that, ultimately, that's yourself telling yourself. Because if I said to you, like, if I don't know you, but if I said, you are a terrible radio presenter, whereas I don't know you, I'm not saying that, I think you're wonderful, by the way. But if I said to you, like, you're a terrible radio presenter, that would be down to you to be like, Twigs, that's not nice, that's not even true. Like, whatever. I'm just
so it's like your own hair is tying you up. It's your own...
Because if someone says something to you and you believe it, that's yourself believing it. That's your decision, and that's something that I realised. If someone says you're not good at something, or if someone puts you down, and if you let that get to you, it's a kind of like a harsh way of looking at it, but that's your fault. Like, you just need to be like, that's not true. Like, these are words that some person who's not kind is saying. That person's just not a nice person. And like, that's what I went through in the creative process where I was working with someone, and just out of the blue, they just kind of turned around and they were just like, you know, the quality of your conversation isn't high enough. Wow. Those are all things I wrote about in Pendulum. Like, the quality of your conversation isn't high enough. You're not a present enough person. You ask one question less than you should at all times. And these are all things I was like, I don't even know what these sentences mean, but, you know.
They're really specific and awful sentences.
Yeah, it's a terrible thing to say to people, because it's nothing you can fix, or it's nothing you can really, like, fully comprehend. Like, what does it mean not to be present enough as a person? It's like, well, I'm here. I don't really know what to say to you. I'm looking at you, like, I'm in the room.
That's
so
true.
I guess, like, the video, again, it's like Happy Pacify. It's just kind of a physical representation of how I felt emotionally.
Well, can I ask, did it hurt to do that?
Yeah, and I was directing the video as well. It was a crazy day. Like, I was literally, like, upside down, my foot tied to my head. I'm not even joking. Like, you'll see, like, one of the shots, like, my foot is tied to my head in a back bend. Like, it's, like, crazy. And then I was having to, like, look at the monitor and, like, adjust the lighting. I was like, oh, like, can we move that light a bit to the left? Like, I don't like that shadow.
Whilst you're hanging like that. Oh, my gosh. My friends, Alani and Eleni and Mark do that, but they do it with ropes, not their own hair, and they don't have to direct it at the same time. So you may have the edge on them.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, on the day, I was like, oh, like, you're standing in front of the screen. I can't see it because I'm tied up. You're in front of the monitor. Can everyone move away from the monitor, please?
FKA Twigs, I had so much fin just listening to you talk about this record and asking these questions. Are we going to see this stuff in Australia at some point? We've heard some rumours.
Yeah, I said before that when I look at my diary, there's like January and February. It says Australia, TBC. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that looks pretty likely. Like, I really want to come out. I've never been.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to chuck on Pendulum right now, and we will see you early next year. FKA Twigs, so lovely to talk to you. Have a lovely afternoon.
Thank you very much.
It's the Doctor on Triple J.